Today we're going to be demonstrating how to change the motor oil and oil filter on a 1997 Audi A4 with the 1.8 liter turbocharged engine. We're going to be using one of our oil change kit options. This oil change kit for the 1.8 liter turbo features the appropriate amount of Ravenol VMO 5W40 motor oil for an oil change. Some of the key features of the Ravenol VMO. It's made in Germany. It's a 100% fully synthetic PAO motor oil. It has formal factory approval for the Volkswagen VW50200 oil quality standard, which is the required oil specification for all of the Audi 1.8 liter turbocharged gasoline engines. When it comes to the oil filter, in our oil change kits we supply the Mahle original oil filters. You might ask, why do we use the Mahle original oil filters in our oil change kits? Well, basically there's several simple reasons. Mahle always uses the exact same specification filter media that the factory filters use. They have, in the spin-on style filters, they have a built-in anti-drain back valve and as well a pressure relief valve, which is the exact same design as the factory filters had that came on the Audi 1.8 liter turbocharged engines. When it comes to the drain plugs, depending on what year 1.8 liter turbocharged engine you have, you'll either have a 14 millimeter drain plug or a 26 millimeter drain plug. In this particular demonstration, we're going to be using the 26 millimeter drain plug washer, which is the exact design, fitment, and function as the factory sealing washer. If you have a 14 millimeter drain plug, it'll look something like this that comes in our kit. It is the exact same design as well as the factory drain plug with a built-in sealing washer. So that's what's included in our oil change kit. Let's get started on changing the oil on the 1.8 liter turbocharged Audi engine. The first thing is to make sure the engine is warm, and this will allow the oil to better drain from the engine. Also, you can remove the oil fill cap. I leave it on top of the oil fill just so nothing falls into the engine. And this will also aid the oil as it's draining from the engine. Next, you can remove the splash pan on the underside of the vehicle. It's held in place with a total of 10 fasteners. There's 3 fasteners here on the front side, and you can use a regular screwdriver to remove these fasteners. There's 3 in the front, 3 in the rear, 2 in this wheel well, and 2 in this wheel well. And then you can tip it down in the back and slide it out. Next, using a 17 millimeter wrench or socket wrench, you can loosen the drain plug. And drain the oil into a suitable drain pan. As well notated earlier in the video, you could either have a 14 millimeter drain plug or this 26 millimeter drain plug. If you have the 14 millimeter drain plug, typically they are a 19 millimeter wrench that would be used to drain the oil. Once the oil is done draining, you can reinstall the drain plug and torque the drain plug to the factory 22 foot-pounds of torque. Also clean any of the oil residue. Next, you can remove the oil filter. Most people, when they're doing an oil filter change on a 1.8 liter Audi A4, will access the oil filter through the wheel well housing here on the driver's side of the vehicle. In my personal opinion, or the way I like to do it, is I'm actually going to access it from the top side of the vehicle because you get a lot less oil residue and drippage from the oil filter onto the bottom side of the vehicle. And that's just my personal way of doing it, just because I think it's cleaner. If you are going to remove the oil filter from the top side of the engine bay, you can remove the intercooler hose that connects to the throttle body. I use a 7 millimeter socket, or you can use a regular. It really depends on the type of hose clamp that's on the vehicle. Next, I'm going to take some old rags and put it on the ledges of the engine or shelves, just to minimize the oil collection when the oil filter is removed. Using an oil filter wrench, you can remove the oil filter. During this procedure, you're going to want to also still have a drain pan under the bottom side of the vehicle to catch any of the oil that's draining. The next thing you can do is lubricate the O-ring on the oil filter. You want to use some fresh oil for this. If you're wondering why I'm using the jug, it's because I'm using Ravenol VMO bag and box, the 20-liter bag and box. So you just want to lubricate it, and this will aid in the sealing of the O-ring as well as the future removal of the oil filter during your next oil change. Next, you can install the new oil filter. And you don't want to torque. As well, you can remove the old rags, which, as you can see, there's quite a bit of oil residue because the oil was collected as the oil was draining. You can reinstall the intercooler hose onto the throttle body. You can begin to fill the engine with oil. Again, if you're questioning why I'm pouring from this jug, I'm using the Ravenol 20-liter bag and box VMO. If you're getting one of our oil change kits, you're going to get a 5-liter bottle of oil or 5 1-liter bottles of oil. So for starters, I'm filling it with 4.3 liters of oil, which is the fluid capacity of the 1.8 liter turbocharged engines. You can reinstall the oil fill cap. The next thing we're going to do is start the engine and allow the oil to flow into the oil filter, fill the oil filter, and then this will give us an accurate oil level indication from the dipstick. Using the oil level dipstick, we're going to get an accurate oil level indication. I like to clean off the tip, then reinsert it into the engine. And this will give us a very accurate oil level. And we have an exact 4.3 liters of oil, which is the factory oil capacity. Before installing the splash pan on the underside of the vehicle, you want to confirm you don't have any leaks coming from the drain plug area, as well as the oil filter area. When you reinstall the splash pan, again, this vehicle did not have the splash pan, but when you install it, you're going to slide in typically one corner, work your way across the front side of the splash pan, and then tip up the back. You're going to have 3 fasteners here on the front side, 3 fasteners here on the rear side, 2 in this wheel well, and 2 in this wheel well. And typically the factory fasteners are all can be installed with a regular screwdriver. So that's an overview on how to change the motor oil and oil filter on an Audi A4 with the 1.8 liter 20 valve turbo. For more information on our products and a full line of Audi and Volkswagen oil change kits, feel free to visit our website at blauparts.com. Thanks for watching.